My daily routine involves getting up pretty early. In the winter it's not so easy because it's been very, very wet and dark, but normally I'd like to get up at 6:30 and then go for a run with the dog, usually out for an hour or so, and then breakfast, and then get into the studio on a good day and spend at least 4 hours doing yoga, Pilates, like some strength training, and then working on choreography. People kind of think that I don't have to do anything when I'm not away at work, teaching or something, but it's the preparation, like the performance is a fraction of it. It's all the work that goes into the run-up to the performance. It's like weeks sometimes of sewing, practicing, finding music. The costuming takes up a lot of time, but I love when I can sort of sewing till 3 o'clock in the morning and then not realising it's 3 o'clock in the morning and having to go to bed for a bit. But once I get into a project, then totally forget about everything else that I'm supposed to be doing. Where do I get my inspiration for my costumes from? I look through old books, like the Ballet Russe and 1920s, 1930s jazz-age dancers. So beautiful old photos. Art Nouveau, get a lot of inspiration from there, and also my friends who I dance with and tour with sometimes. I'm very influenced by Carolina Noricchio, my mentor. So old fabrics and textiles, she's very into folk textiles and very influenced by that. Yeah, cutting up old dresses. I don't really have a plan when I go into a costume. I'll have a vague colour theory, and then it's whatever old dresses and things I've picked up along the way that I start to rip up and put back together again. I've always been a kind of a magpie for old junk. So now finally I have somewhere to put all that junk and I wear it now. And so a lot of tribal adornment, so coins and silver and a lot of stuff from India, and just what I find in the markets around here, really, a lot of Victorian glass and buttons and things, that all goes in there. What interests me about old fabrics is the story behind it. So it's been worn and it has a story, and I'm never going to know what that story is, but that just gives the fabric a different feel to me. And also things were made to last in the past. Now things are made to fall apart, so you have to buy new stuff, and I don't like the feel of new fabric. I don't really like the look of most new fabric, so using something really, really old, and sometimes it's really delicate and fragile, and kind of giving a second life to something that would otherwise be in a box or in a bin liner. I just had a lady give me 3 bin bags full of antique textiles that her grandmother had collected on her travels. So things like that, like it has a story, it's come from her grandmother, and instead of it sitting in a bin bag in her cupboard, I'm now gonna put it on stage. Dance has changed me completely, I think. It's given me a direction that I never really had before. I always floated around doing this and that, and I think dance found me. I wasn't looking for it. So I had planned to be a crafts person, making furniture and basketry, and that was my thing. And then, yeah, dance started as a hobby and very quickly snowballed into going to LA and joining a Hollywood company, and totally changed my life. I met Carolina, well, first I saw her on video, and that was in the days before DVDs almost, 2003. I saw a video, and it was totally different to anything I'd ever seen before. I'd seen belly dance in restaurants, and I'd tried it out when I was a teenager, and I wasn't into it because I wasn't a very girly girl. I was more like a boy. I always hung out with boys at school because I was always bullied by the girls. So girls were kind of scary, and I never wore dresses or makeup or anything. So I'd never been drawn to belly dance because I saw it as extremely girly and lots of sequins and lycra, and what I'd seen in restaurants hadn't appealed at all. But what Carolina and her troupe were doing was totally different. It was very about the women dancing for each other, very strong, very feminine, and but not, they were covered in tattoos and piercings, and that was me, and I was like, wow, okay, you can be weird in belly dance. So I bought all the videos I could and started teaching myself because no one else was doing it around here. And then I started teaching to have other people to dance with, because otherwise it's a group dance, it's not a solo dance. So if you don't have a troupe, it's not really American tribal style. So a group of us started performing together a little bit and teaching a little bit, and then I went over to San Francisco to study with Carolina in person. And that's when it all kicked off, really. And from American Tribal, I then met Rachel, and that's the Tribal Fusion, which is more bringing contemporary and hip-hop into the American Tribal style. And then it becomes more of a soloist-focused thing. So I sort of moved away from the American Tribal style format, but I still use the bass. That's my foundation, so I still have the posture and some of the steps, but changed them up a little bit and added a lot of other influences to it. But I've kept in touch with Carolina the whole time, and she's been very supportive of what I'm doing now, and very supportive of a DVD project that I'm working on at the moment. I think the secret to being a good belly dancer is practice. A lot of practice, and staying true to the roots and respecting the roots of belly dance, and studying as much as you can, and just having as much knowledge of it as you can. Belly dance is kind of seen as the bottom of the pile in the dance world. It's not really respected like other dance forms are. So I work really hard to try and raise the bar and show that actually this is not easy. And it's not just about taking a couple of classes and putting a costume on and getting on stage, which is a big problem with belly dance. So yeah, studying as much as you can before you even consider getting on stage, because a ballerina would never take a couple of classes and put a tutu on and get on stage. It wouldn't happen. So yeah, respecting the art form and knowing your stuff, really. And cross-training, I think, is very important for belly dancing. So taking other dance classes, being fit. Before I started dancing, I wasn't into fitness really at all, and now I'm into jogging and going to the gym and Pilates and yoga, and it's just opened up a whole world of necessary things. I love sharing my passion with people and seeing their reaction to it. And it's usually a pretty good reaction, so that feeds me and keeps me studying and learning and training. And if I wasn't teaching, I think I probably would have lost the urge to do this in a way, because performing's great, but very stressful. And I think teaching is where I'm really fed. I grow from showing people what I'm into and their enthusiasm, and just, sharing passion with people. What keeps me dancing? Fear. Terror. My obsession. So it's I'm very single-minded about obsession, and being the best dancer I can be is my obsession. So trying to train to improve myself, and that's what keeps me going, really, trying to better myself. I'm not trying to be better than anyone else. It's definitely about, bettering myself and being the best dancer I can be.